Yeah, both of you. You hit him direct on.
Let's go.
I saw him in that corner. I sprinted over to it. I looked at the top and he did a thing and it came down on him, bro. That shit
He laid down, I shot his legs.
Bro, that shit was so funny. You tickled him and he died, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so nice.
They may call it a tactical deployment, but
It never is with them.
the boys call it a good time to just rehash what just happened. And frankly, I'm right there with them. That was fun. And I'm going to be honest, too, we did get a chance to see their coach, Zapok, and he said, finish it, boys. And we said, sure, sounds good if we're a North American fan. I got a lot of folks in the chat. We want to hear from you. Who are you a fan of? Who do you think is going to win it all? Or frankly, I think the better question is how many rounds will it take? Could Inc. end it right here on Space City, or will we have one more round, or maybe even two? Space City loading up right now. The players are loading in as we speak, folks. The first thing we will pay attention to is priority spawns. The second thing we'll pay attention to is who gets to the Mantle Brick first. 2 minutes and 45 seconds is the timer before you can pick up the Mantle Brick. And we are dropping in as we speak. Here we go. Mantle Brick Addiction and MG Prio spawns, and it's ESG in command build.
Oh, but Q9 gets arguably one of the worst spawns available on the map, at least for the Mando Brick attack. That is going to be tough for them for sure. This is one of those dangerous crossings, hopping about, gets away unscathed.
Mantle Brick Addiction getting shot at by ESG. Both teams sprinting towards this Mantle Brick, one zipping, the other sprinting. MG already in a bit of trouble, and as per the usual, the other fight that oftentimes happens is the team from Dormitory taking shots down at the team that gets Prio spawn at Westgate. Tags him up, but doesn't knock any down. Shout out to my boys, AKA, missing out on land because of that exact same strategy, missing out on the stadium because they get shot in the back before they can barely move. MG have made it to Centrifuge and should play inside of Centrifuge until this brick spawns. The decoding station right here in this alleyway is the one that has been priority decoded at every single time, aside from, I believe, twice. One time we went to the north around that passage that we've been talking around those pipes at T1 spawn on the right-hand side of the map. The only other time on Space City we've not seen this decoding station, wow, nice fuel there to start things off, was indoors. Now, look at operators, about what we expected. Fallen running quote-unquote meta. MG running quote-unquote meta. A couple other folks running 2/3 of quote-unquote meta. As we take a look at our loot, MG has picked up a stopwatch, but ESG has found that 1.5 mil fuel.
No Tempest for Fallen or NBA. Inc. will use the last Aluru, committing everything in terms of loot as well, mind you. Inc. wants this. Now, typically, I'm quite critical of a team playing very passive. However, Inc. played passive enough to the point where by the time they joined for the first Mando Brick attack on Brockish, they were the healthiest going into the final fights, and it paid off. This time around, they look to be taking the same page from that very playbook. They're going to stay up north.
FN out of the equation, hanging out in Dormitory. The fight around the Mantle Brick, as per the usual, involves a lot of teams taking control, taking the space in these buildings. Centrifuge, right now, is MG. ESG is going to be going for the brick potentially. No, they're going to stay up high. Looking over it, Q9 could be first to the brick on the low side. We know that Mantle Brick Addiction likes to get pretty aggressive here. Mantle Brick Addiction in test facility. Black Chamber technically the top of it. ESG's. Here goes APAC, here goes MG. They grab it on spawn. It's got a lot of smokes on it, and bullets rain down as well. Uvalier trying to tag and tags, but doesn't get a knock.
Uvalier running forward. Mando Brick picked up from MG. This is big for them. They weren't too far behind when it came to the overall standings, so getting a Mando Brick here could be massive.
And they had control of Centrifuge, so it only makes sense that we're going to put it in the decoding station that we all know and we all love. Viral moments have been made at this decoding station. This alleyway has a lot of looks, a lot of sight lines that can look at it, but no one can truly hold it unless you're sitting kind of out in the open.
Right.
Somebody's got to control the ramp outside of Centrifuge. If you want to guard the backside of this, And to guard the north side, you're just going to have to peek out of the door if you're MG.
Teams on the outskirts, Q9, Fallen, Inc., all three of those rosters most likely going to have a huge impact once the brick has been at least transferred hands once. And I expect it to be transferred with how aggressive the first one was. Whether it's going to be MG holding on to it, I don't think so. ESG, NBA most likely going to get a touch. And then we're going to see the outskirt teams, Q9, Fallen, Inc., start to move in.
And ESG obviously collecting a bunch of information with Ultimate High. Can't shoot at him, but get a lot of info. Some of the teams roaming up. Our security director has been a pain in the side of many folks, so why not take him down if you can? Skydee has done this before. Shock Arrow should take down security director if he can connect, and weak enough to clean him up. All right. Not going to get a sniper in the back of the head when you desperately don't want it. Here's that ramp I was talking about. Nobody's actually holding this position, which is quite atypical for these positions, but it's because nobody actually has control of the decoding station. MG just hanging out in Centrifuge. It's going to allow Q9 to push up, and Mo does have the AWM. That's that sniper he's got in his secondary position. They're just trying to get any info. And as they come pushing up the ramp, they're probably like, wait a minute, nobody's here? They're all in the buildings. They could make a quick play for a quick steal.
I think they are. Yeah, Mo's going for it.
They just want to force anybody to try to take a look. Now that they technically are out in the open, yes, but they technically have eyes on the decoding station as well to cover it.
That's big for Q9. Now they can back away, and also deadly because Mo has the AWM, so he's going to have a great, perfect line of sight. Taking that ramp for free was critical.
And minimap-wise, you see Fallen creeping down the western side of the map. So now that Q9 has control over the ramp, the onus of responsibility is going to come from not Fallen, who's going to have to go up the ramp to get to him. It's going to be one of these other teams, either MG trying to come out of Centrifuge, NBA potentially playing low side. But a stalemate for now.
Plenty of time still left. Fallen, the only team relatively close, maybe making an attempt from the outside. But Envy is curious. Staying as close as he is, maybe you assume MG starts to make a move. Inc., by the way, risking quite a bit staying on the northern side.
Inc. is not getting involved at all. They've got a mana brick. They are going for loot in Central Command. And I'm sure that they're hoping that this brick will be stolen over and over and over again and fought over so much that they can come in and play cleanup. Their goal was to loot first, ask questions later, and unfortunately, they don't end up finding much in Central Command. ESG started there. They didn't stay there very long. Here's a look at our map and see where they are. They are now on the move.
Set, moving up. Time starts to tick away. The more time that ticks away, the more nervous the close teams start to get. In this case, MG and NBA.
Go.
Like you said, here we are. Skydee starts to move up. Players all around, but no worries. You've got to make an attempt here. You cannot afford to allow Q9 to get this Mando brick. It simply just cannot happen. You need to get it for yourself. And with NBA being nearly half or over half below in assets of Q9 as well as Inc., a double Mando break is going to be a huge win condition. They finally attack onto Q9. One player is going to be dropped. That's going to be K1DE. The Mando brick is now wide open to at least get a touch. Mando brick addiction is going to take priority over this moment. Mind you, Too Easy is also down. Fallen, Inc. are starting to fight.
A nice steal here, but NBA get punished for it. Mo patiently, yes, they lose one. They let them get the steal. Then he cuts Uvalier down. It is now 2v2 when it comes to Q9 and NBA. However, Q9 have a body to res, NBA does not. NBA have the Mando brick, but they don't have their third, and MG is going to slowly but surely creep up, and Mo hits it. Mo hits the sniper shot. This could be an opening for Mo, not only to go for the decode, but he could go for the team wipe after the decode if he wants to. It's about to be utter chaos as MG can even creep up and get involved in this fight.
Q9 lose control. They look to be crumbling, but just like that, they take it back for themselves. Onigiri taking down Skydee. NBA is out.
NBA fully eliminated. They went for the steal and they got it, but they're the only team to contest in that moment. Sniper shots ring true. It's no wonder Q9 felt comfortable in that position on the long angle. They knew they could hit their shots, and when they did, the tides would be turned back in their favor. Here's a look at ESG as they've found an angle on Killzall. The top fragger is out, and now Ink on the run. ESG looking for kills, and when the smoke clears, could pick up easy, but backs off instead. They're going to go play for the mantle brick potentially, but not immediately.
MG still 3 strong. Onigiri is going to be the closest one to the mantle brick. Bujang! We've been highlighting him consistently throughout the days, and that's going to be a long-range shot onto Bonnie. MG now with just 2 players up. Onigiri again. That's the one I'm looking at to potentially challenge the site of K1DE, but it's going to be hard to get through the AWM that Mo possesses. But Fallen is making an attempt from the south ramp.
I just don't know what that MG player was doing that far away. Maybe trying to play a flank, I don't know. But a brutal loss, ESG just finding kill after kill completely uncontested.
Fallen's got to go. Fallen's got to go. They might be pushing up relatively soon. Mo with AWM is going to be instrumental, but they're also getting pushed from the opposite side of things. This is going to be great for Fallen, but Fallen is going to fall. HR is going to be down, but DT is going to drop K1DE. He's also going to get the full pickup. Fallen can still push up. Like you said, here they come. Mo is doing everything he can, but DT has got onto the site, and he's going to get the decoding started.
Guys hitting quick shots on main, and they're still up somehow on this ramp. Take down HR into full yellow timer. It's going to be a 2v2 on ramp, and ESG can pinch here for free. There is nobody on their backside contesting them right now. Ink's been on the run for a while. They're trying to restabilize while the fight around the brick is happening. Plenty of time on the decode, but ESG in the best position by a country mile as 2 go down, and now he's Bishka. The sub from the qualifiers made it to land. They made it to this position, but he's not going to be the hero, not in this map. Mo is unstoppable, and ESG are going to try to come clean him up.
But once again, Ink has stayed alive. Ink is going to be 3 strong, and they're going to be rotating up towards the north and then back down towards the south, potentially to sandwich ESG between Q9 and themselves. Ink, an opportunity to steal this steal it away, much like they did in Game 2. The question is, do they have it in them? They took the risk to stay silent in the north, and now they find an opportunity to finally attack.
For Ink to win over ESG here, it's going to take a little bit of help from MG. I think this is going to be a very difficult fight for them to win. Sure, if you get first blood, you get player advantage, you can make the push. It's possible. We know Ink has the gunny. With a little help from MG, they could do a lot here, and they could win. And MG does not want to help. MG is not in a position where they're going to earn very much money in this competition if Ink closes out right here. But you're right, MG, they get Inagiri out, and ESG is hitting their shots, and they are sprinting at their opponents. They're going to leave the decoding station because it's only 10 seconds, and they've got player advantage. They've got the high ground. They've got everything they want and more. ESG wiped the lobby besides one single player from Q9, and ESG, the home crowd heroes, get the mantle brick.
ESG, what a battle it was. It was DT holding his ground for the longest time. He also was the one who got the decoding started for the side of ESG. An epic battle for sure, but 2 rounds or 2 mantle brick rounds in a row goes where Q9 takes the initiative. Q9 sets up around the mantle brick, but Q9 once again falls short.
No team is playing passive anymore. They may lie and wait for a little bit, but no brick will be given for free. All of them have got to be earned. There may be a prize for second place, but it pales in comparison to first. And of course, the commendation to say you are the first Delta Force Invitational champion. ESG, they stand next to Ink on the leaderboard now. The only 2 teams with a mantle brick. So regardless of their loot value, they will be 1 and 2. But the loot value now matters between those 2. You want to be first? You either have more mantle bricks than your opponent, or you have more loot value, Taylor. And I think Ink is technically, by a lot, winning in that category still. Ink will be in first at the end of this map. But ESG leapfrogs to second.
Picking up 8 eliminations this game. I don't know if they'll be able to chase Mo down, maybe. Mo's still running around in the vicinity. There is an opportunity potentially to pick up 9. Surprisingly, Q9. Mo himself, he's pulled off 1v3s before. Does he tempt fate this time around? Does he go for the additional 1.2 mil in earnings from the elimination category? I would say for anybody else, probably back away. But for Mo, maybe he can make it happen.
I believe he's got 1 bullet left in the AWM. That's good for 1 kill.
Is there? I mean, how much value is there to stay back?
Oh, nice satellite dish, sure. We take those. It's under 471K. ESG is definitely not going to take any chances. They're going to check all the angles. And yeah, I don't know. I mean, I think for Mo, it's not that he's not going to take these fights. He's going to take them. It's just a matter of when. And I think the answer is the win is actually going to be aware. It's going to be around the extraction zone. It's going to be around this extraction point. We know the one that we're talking about. Mid-map, under the bridge. A tried and true classic. It's got 3.5 minutes on it. About a minute before the game timer closes. I can't imagine all 4 of these players get out on it. It has happened before.
Oh, they're going straight into Mo.
Yeah, I mean, they have to. This is the extraction point.
They've set the trap.
He's going to sit here with this trap. He's got to hit his AWM shot, I think.
He has to.
He's got to get a knock to make it a 1v2.
Has to.
But Mo's won 1v3s.
Oh, don't peek too soon, Mo.
A couple of times, which is insane to say.
Right. Peek too soon. Stay patient here, Mo. For ESG, already a big win, right? Getting the Mandel break is massive, but getting out with 6.8 million, I mean, come on. That's going to put them that much closer. Or even
oh my gosh,
surpassing Ink.
One down.
Oh! Misses the shot, but the down is still going to be big on Liyun. An opportunity to take DT, potentially bunny hopping up, but doesn't get enough shots taken. But good news is, player hasn't been picked up yet. Nice shots, DT, very low. Liyun as well. Mo standing up. There is no way Mo can get 1v3s 2 times in the grand finals. The res is starting to take place. Mo is running out of options, and I think this is where the heroics start to come to an end.
He can connect on a well-placed grenade, get him weak. He could line him up and knock him down. But you're right, he needed to pick up Liyun on the rotation. They don't know that Mo has made this rotation, I don't think. Oh, 1 shot fired, maybe they do now. Mo hears him advancing. Gonna reposition, take a fight from another angle, gets 1, gets 2. Can he line them all up? Mo will get his 3rd 1v3. If he can isolate this one, here's the on the right-hand side. He's got half health. He doesn't get it, but it was dang close. Mo almost a hero for Q9. Mo almost the best fragger this tournament has ever seen. He may still hold a claim to that title eventually, but not in this map. Holy cow, that was way too close for comfort. ESG was sweating.
I'm sweating now, man. I say surely not, no way. Mo runs out of options. Once the reset happens, you think time is up. But Mo steals it right back and makes it exciting to the very end. Mo, arguably one of the best players in Delta Force competitive whenever it comes to operations. And the crowd has taken notice, the fans have taken notice as well. Despite him falling, he has still proven to be a factor even when the odds are stacked against him.
Q9, Mo, ESG, Zhang, these are all players and teams the crowd here know well. But our global audience is starting to know who Mo is. Our global audience is paying attention, and I think Mo's fan base is growing. Here's a quick look at that replay from the last rep. Several replays here. Of course, ESG, they get the first knock on Ink, and they know that no one can get to the decoding station in time, so we're going to wipe everybody else out. It's a signal flare, as it always is, to push the equation. Here's Mo's signal flare. He hits that AWM shot. I think Mo wins this. And then back against the wall, picks up 2 in a row, loses half his health, and almost wins this fight. It was a great effort, but also a great execution from ESG. As much as it looked like Mo was putting on a show for us, which he was, ESG did play it right. They get the mantle brick, they all get out, and they get the kills. ESG just put up a gigantic round, a round that was very similar to what Inc. was able to do. ESG is going to be top 2, and it's actually going to be fairly close at the top.
Very close indeed. In fact, I think they might have done enough to get within striking distance to overtaking that of Inc. And that puts the pressure on North America. That puts the pressure on Inc. because no longer do they have that distinct advantage of being the only team with a Mando brick. ESG joins the party. And we've got 2 more Space Cities left, or potential of 2 Space Cities left. Let me reiterate, we have gone through 2, or this is now the 3rd day of competition. This is officially our 8th best of 6 at this point, man. And you have to consider, we have never gone to a game 6.
That's right.
We have always ended in either game 4 or game 5. So the chances of this tournament coming to an end in the next map are incredibly high.
100%. You're 1,000% right. We've broken that down. The stats are insane. Interestingly enough, though, online stages, at least that we have casted over, that I've casted over, it's been about 33% across the board. It's been about 33%. 4, 5, or 6 being our last round in these best of 6 matches. We've been playing underneath this format for a while, and it's usually about even.
That's right.
On land, it has not been at all. However, the gameplay today in the stadium is very different than the gameplay that we saw in the stages leading up to today. The last 2 days have played totally different because of the qualification process of getting, hey, if we're top 2, we make it. Hey, if we're top 3, we go to the next round. When you're playing for first, I think it's a high likelihood that we go all the way to game 6.
Very much so. Very much so.
Nobody's giving bricks for free.
No, not at all. I mean, this has been the most aggression we have seen on a Mando brick throughout the entirety of our competition here at the Delta Force Invitational in 2025. Before, I mean, again, it was getting the Mando brick, getting out for free. We weren't seeing basically any fights take place. Now we are. But the stakes are also higher. And nobody wants to play for second place. Everyone wants to go for first. Now, I go back to ESG taking that win in the fashion they did. Phenomenal. DT was a large reason for their success. But Q9, as I said during the commentary, I'll say it once again, they were the first team to take the Mando brick for themselves. They desperately tried to hold on. In fact, they stole it twice in total. But in the end, they couldn't hold on to it. The same thing happened in Game 2's battle for the Mando brick. Q9 has gotten so close, yet impossibly far away.
Yeah, and again, it's not something that we saw as much during the lead-up stages, the first 2 days. It's a good call-out from you, Taylor. And again, I think it still comes down to that same topic, is that because they're only playing for first, people just got to get more aggressive. And because of that, the team that plants the brick isn't always the team that's getting the brick. We've seen that in online stages. We're seeing that here on the stadium. I don't think we'll end in round 5, but it is absolutely possible and even probable. But as we look forward, we go back to Space City, and it will be a Mantle Brick round every round going forward. There can only be a maximum of 2 more. Will be Space City and be a Mantle Brick. So of course we got to talk about spawns. We got to talk about some of these teams and what they need to do. And right now, the only thing some of the teams at the bottom of the leaderboard are thinking is, how do we get the Mantle Brick, man? Let's take a look back on that map, some of the highlights from that round. What went right, what went wrong? And I think the big question in our minds and a lot of people at home is, what's going wrong for EU? Both of our EU teams struggling a bit. MG grabbed the brick, planted, but unfortunately couldn't get their feet underneath them.
Yeah, man, they've been on the struggle bus for sure. Alongside that of NBA was Mo, who ended up taking the Mando brick for Q9 initially. Now that was big news, and they did so by getting the ramp for free. But they did run into some issues. It was NBA who ended up taking down K1DE, but Fallen started to join in the mix on their long rotation through street up the ramp. NBA, they did get a touch on the brick, but of course it was Mo taking it right back for Q9.
Yeah, taking it right back was nice. MG Onigiri is the one that actually struck down Mana Brick Addiction. Nice crowd talking. We've all done it. and it certainly pays in time. But ESG picked up a couple free kills that I was just literally thinking and even exclaiming on broadcast, what? What's going on? How are we getting these for free? People didn't know where they were. Because of that, they were able to take full control over the decoding station, and as teams were fighting, ESG came in and played cleanup, but not before Mo could be the hero, man. Mo picked up a triple there, got more, and then almost triple killed ESG. And then this is the moment where Ink was trying to make a play to end the tournament. And unfortunately, because DT had the angle on our first Ink player over the top, it was just blood in the water. ESG chased down all the kills. ESG comes in, wipes them all. And of course, a heroic moment here from Mo.
That's right.
Almost the best highlight we've seen thus far.
Oh, definitely so. Almost. Well, why almost? Well, it's because Mo ended up getting the best highlight so far with the 1v3, right? So he's gotten 2 incredible plays, but once again, same narrative. Q9 once again falling short. How many times can this continue to happen? But it does make things incredibly exciting going into this next phase city, because Q9 has been so close. This time around, if they could just get over that hump, get over that hurdle, we could have an exciting 3 teams with the Mando Brick leaving it up to Game 6.
Yeah, and that's something we haven't seen on LAN yet. You got to remember, we've been talking about this all day. Only ever seen 2 teams with the Mando Brick in LAN competition the last couple days. Here's a look at our round 4 results. This is just last round, which is insane to say. Q9 did pick up their 5 kills on the back of Mo almost entirely by himself. But ESG get 9 mil extracted. All 3 got out. Ton of loot value. Mando Brick and 9 kills. 9 kills is our kill record in 1 round. Again, that is 3.6 mil. Insane stats added to that. That is a 12+ mil game for them. That's one of the biggest games we've seen thus far.
Yep.
And because of that, they're going to close the gap on Ink dramatically. But look at the damage charts. Q9 does top them on the back of 1 man and 1 man alone. And I can only imagine that 1 man will be our round MVP.
You would have to assume so. He was caught short a little bit earlier in round 2 when he picks up the 1v3. He wasn't the MVP. This time you would assume he will be. ESG, the best team of Game 4. They get the Mando Brick decoded. They get 9 eliminations. And on top of that, around 9.07 total loot extracted with the elims. Total that brings it up to around 13 million, which surely is enough to catch up to Ink, if not be just behind Liu, Fuzhang, DT. Also your match MVP. Now, I'm actually okay with this. 5 total, yeah, it absolutely does. 5 total kills, 5.0 KD, 891 damage dealt. DT, the name that we were consistently saying with